Hey gamer, today let's take a look at my top 5 picks for the best word games available on Apple Arcade. I wouldn't necessarily say that word games are my go-to, but let's see if we can find anything for this borderline dyslexic. The bottom of this short list for me is going to go to Word Laces by MiniMega. It's a unique enough concept where you lace together groups of letters to make words. There's a picture that you pull hints from for what word you're supposed to make, like this one, donkey. Yep, got that. Then, well, I got nothing. After playing a few dozen or so puzzles, you start to get the gist of what words they want you to find. Except for maybe this one. I think they're straight up trying to hypnotize me. And it was this game that reminded me of the fact that I am a horrible speller. Just the worst. Luckily, there's a hint button which they don't penalize you for using, and I used it often. There are so many levels. They give you the option to skip ahead, but I'm not sure why you want to because the difficulty seems to stay the same as you progress. Moving on to number 4, Word Web by Aaron and Adrian is an interesting take on Scrabble where you place whole words instead of individual letters. There's Tangle mode where you have the goal of placing a set amount of words and you unlock more placeable words by placing over the plus tiles. Say that 5 times fast. In Precise mode, you have to lay down the words in a precise way over the checkered flag to win the level. There are hints if you need them, and there's always this little guy walking around the board to keep you company. He doesn't do anything, just walking around. Adds a little charm to the game. Number 3 is going to Disney Spell Struck by Artist Arcade. This is another Scrabble game where you go against opponents and unlock new maps and characters. It's got a cute sense of humor to it, and there are daily challenges in versus mode where you can play with friends, words with friends you might even say, or it can match you with a random player. Each match has a limited number of moves to keep the gameplay short, and this would have made it higher on my list, but the game kept crashing on me. Granted, I know that my iPad Pro 2nd Gen is no spring chicken, but it's a word game for crying out loud. On to number 2. Dear Reader by Local Number 12 is another unique, I know I've already used that one. Interesting, no, that one too. Intriguing. Yes, an intriguing game where you read through classic poems and novels and fill in the words or swap sections as you read through the chapters. You can play super casual with no timer stress, or you can choose to add a timer that rewards faster play with more ink, or takes away the ink if you're going too slow. You use the ink for hints, and it also acts as a currency to buy more books from the bookstore. As you play through the game, you kind of almost forget about the game and just start paying attention to the story, which if it encourages people to read more, that's a great byproduct. Before we get to number 1, let's take a look at our honorable mentions, of which there's only one, because the word category on Apple Arcade is sparse. And that goes to Tiny Crossword Plus by Play Simple Games. It's a crossword game, plain and simple. It's just a tiny step up from scanning the crossword puzzle from the newspaper. But if crosswords are your thing, boy is this game for you. And finally, we make it to number 1, which goes to Spell Tower Plus by Zach Gage. It's a word find / boggle type game mixed in with a little Tetris. You find words to keep your stack down, and you have to keep moving down your blocks evenly because you're always stacking towards the top. There are black blocks that you have to get rid of by selecting adjacent letters, and you cut out more tiles by finding larger words. There's Tower Mode, puzzle mode that adds rows from the bottom every single move, and then there's Rush Mode, where I panic. I forget the entire English language and my brain just stops. This one made the top slot for me because of the variety of game modes, and I just really like the simplistic art style. And these are my top picks for word games on Apple Arcade. There's something here for everyone, whether you want a fast time challenge or just some relaxed casual play. Well, that'll do it for today. Be sure to like and subscribe for more Apple Arcade game reviews, accessory reviews, and top 5 lists. See ya!